What are you doing here? I'm here to kill you.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for characters who were killed off far before their time. Expect some major spoilers ahead.
Sir Ilan, bring me his head.
Number 10, Siggy Wilzig, Fallout.
Not my whole body. Just my head.
Siggy Wilzig is a major person of interest in the Fallout series. Since he injects himself with a device capable of producing cold fusion, the scientist has a huge target on him. But sadly, he dies after secretly ingesting a tasty banana-flavored cyanide pill near the end of episode 2.
What?
Vault-Tec Plan D. It was the most humane product that Vault-Tec ever made. It was quick, painless, tasted like banana. I was surprised it wasn't more popular.
His decapitated head soon becomes a MacGuffin everyone's after, so the character is still a pivotal part of the season. But it's not great that he was killed off in the same episode he debuts. He could have made the show even more worthwhile if he were able to stay alive just a little longer. Besides, who doesn't want more of Michael Emerson limping across the apocalypse? It's safe to say that we were robbed.
I'm not going to make it.
Number 9, Nicholas Brody, Homeland.
Tonight, whatever happens, I don't want you to be there.
Brody.
I mean it.
Being a popular character and even having the show's plot largely center around him wasn't enough to stop Nicholas Brody from getting axed. Tried for treason while in Iran, Brody is set to be publicly hanged. His team tries rescuing him, but Brody's fate is effectively sealed.
Well, you're insane if you think that's gonna happen. You have to stop it.
It's out of my hands, Gary.
Sadly, the major storylines after this suffered, and the series was never really able to reach the heights of his dramatic storyline. He was an interesting send-off, but many wish the character could have been kept around longer, especially since Homeland went on for 5 more seasons after this.
Brody? Brody?
Be quiet.
Number 8, Tasha Yar, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Hello, my friends. You are here now watching this image of me because I have died.
When actress Denise Crosby decided to depart The Next Generation after its first season, her character Tasha Yar received an abrupt and brutal death. Blindsided by a sentient goop called Armus, Tasha was killed pretty much immediately.
There was too much synaptic damage. That thing just sucked the life right out of her. There's nothing I can do.
It was clear that this was a character who could have had much more to do, but unfortunately, she'd never get those opportunities. Tasha's death was so out of left field that it was universally hated by fans.
The creature is filled with rage. Undirected, unfocused rage.
For a character who was around since the pilot episode, this was not a great farewell for her. Number 7, Eddie Munson, Stranger Things.
Eddie, stop! Eddie, stop! 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 Eddie, what are you doing?
Buy more time.
While many characters have died on Stranger Things, one of the most memorable deaths is Eddie's. Similar to Bob Newby, who was mauled by demodogs, Eddie got mauled by hordes of demobats. Although only introduced in Season 4, he made quite the impression before his death.
Eddie! We got a lockdown and came on in 30 seconds!
His charismatic personality and eccentricities made him someone viewers loved, so the fact that he only lasted 1 season is especially heartbreaking. The rebellious metalhead has already left behind a legacy, but there's still so much we wish we could have seen. Maybe we'll spot him again in some capacity, but for now, it's unlikely that he'll be back in the land of the living.
I think it's my year, Henderson. I think it's finally my year.
Number 6, Merle Dixon, The Walking Dead.
I don't know why I do the things I do. Never did. I'm a damn mystery to me.
Daryl Dixon's loudmouth, bigoted brother was hardly a saint, but over time, Merle began to slowly shed his old skin and improve himself. If given more time, he probably could have changed his ways for good. Emphasis on the if, though.
I can't go back. Don't you understand that?
He didn't get a chance to further redeem himself since he was shot by the governor, turned into a walker, and then put down by Daryl. Like the fan favorite Shane Walsh, who was also taken too soon, Merle was a loose cannon. But he became such a compelling one through the character development he got that it made us wish he could have avoided this gruesome fate in the end.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't mess my life up when everything's going so sweet, right?
Number 5, Tara Maclay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You think you could just do that to me? You think I'd let you get away with that?
When Willow Rosenberg's girlfriend Tara was killed by a gunshot, her sudden death sent Willow into a frenzy. But it wasn't just the characters who were upset, so were the fans. Many took aim with the show's decision to kill off a prominent lesbian character and in such an abrupt way. Considering the nature of the supernatural show, there could have been many ways to bring her back. So the fact that she was never revived or had her death retconned made her absence a prominent one and a wound that ran deep within the show.
Okay, not quite the response I was fishing for.
Number 4, Matthew Crawley, Downton Abbey.
Can this hot and dusty traveler come in?
Nobody could expect that this would be how we all said goodbye to Matthew Crawley, heir of Downton. Involved in a terrible car accident, Matthew was killed off during season 3. It's a heartbreaking loss not only since he was one of the most interesting characters, but also since he became a new dad.
I wonder if he has any idea how much joy he brings with him.
Oh, and this all happened on the show's Christmas special. The reason for the character's death was because Dan Stevens wanted to exit from Downton Abbey. And while we understand that, not letting the viewers get to see Matthew raise his son across numerous seasons felt like torture.
But then we don't always get our just desserts.
Number 3, Stringer Bell, The Wire.
Is that it? Because if it is, man, I could be a better friend to y'all alive.
Idris Elba's Stringer is a man with ambition, and in The Wire, that makes him incredibly dangerous. But despite how smart, ruthless, and methodical he is, the bell tolls for him in season 3. As his plan to usurp Avon Barksdale's criminal empire fails, Stringer is killed by brother Muzone and Omar.
You still don't get it, do you? Huh? This ain't about your money, bro.
While his death was exceptionally well done, the tragic conclusion to the character is one many fans had trouble accepting. In fact, even Idris himself didn't want to leave. Though the killing hardly derailed the show's momentum, it left a small bell-shaped hole in our hearts.
It seemed like I can't say nothing to change your minds.
Number 2, Ned Stark, Game of Thrones.
But I grew up with soldiers. I learned how to die a long time ago.
An argument can certainly be made for Ned Stark having to die in Game of Thrones. The death acted as the catalyst for the War of the Five Kings. But with that being said, we selfishly wish he could have had his death postponed, at least for a few more seasons. Ned was a compelling personality, and in the beginning, we pretty much thought he was the main character.
Let the High Septon and Baelor the Blessed bear witness to what I say.
Sure, his death was an inevitability, but we can't help but entertain the what-if scenario of him sticking around longer than he did. We know it's an out-there concept, but hey, it's not like it can be any more disastrous than the final season.
You do me wrong, my lord. Your blood is the last thing I want.
I don't know what you want. I've given up trying to guess.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Zoe Barnes, House of Cards.
Crossed ethical lines, professionally, physically, and I hold myself accountable for that.
The dynamic between shady politician Frank Underwood and Zoe Barnes, the reporter who's well aware of his corruption, made House of Cards thrilling to watch. She was a real threat, and Frank knew that. But while we expected him to try and take her down, we didn't necessarily imagine him doing it by throwing her in front of a moving train.
I want to believe you, Francis. I know you'll...
It solved a lot of his problems, but getting rid of her at the start of season 2 also took away a lot of suspense. There was just so much potential here for Zoe to become a bigger thorn in his side, but those prospects ultimately wouldn't come to pass.
Don't waste a breath mourning, Miss Barnes. Every kitten grows up to be a cat.
Is there a character's premature death that we missed? Make sure to pay your respects in the comments.
Veronica.
Oh my God.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.